Walk It Out is West High's multicultural fashion show celebrating diversity through fashion, music, dance, art, food, and more. This year will be the third annual show. The event is held in the spring, and last year we had over 240 people in attendance. All of our funds raised from the event are donated to charity. For the past 2 years, we have donated to the University of Iowa HIV Clinic. The event is held on Saturday, March 9th in the West High cafeteria. Each cultural group gets to model their traditional clothing while walking to their cultural music.
The Psyched members heard about Walk It Out at the University of Iowa, and for one of our recognition programs in May, they invited them to come over and do a mini Walk It Out as part of the entertainment portion of the awards program that we host for Psyched. And it went relatively well. They were invited to come back the next year. It became less UI representation, more West High representation. So by the next year, they wanted it to be a standalone event. And so they started working on the logistics it would take. And then it was a couple years later with establishing student leadership and the logistics, figuring those out, to make it a standalone group. It's not quite a club. They just host this one event, but it takes a lot of planning. And so then it wasn't a Psych specific, but Psyched members were involved in hosting the very first one, which 3, maybe 4 years ago. I can't remember if this is going to be our third or fourth one. And so those seniors have since graduated, and they've passed on the torch, if you will, thinking Olympians type style. They've passed on the torch to the next group that's going to continue it. And so
sophomore year is when I joined Truth Squad, which is one of the clubs that's represented at Walk It Out. And pretty much everybody who was in Truth Squad was like, hey, so we're doing this thing called Walk It Out. And this was the first year that we were doing it at West. And basically they took the concept from the U of I because they have a Walk It Out there, and we just took it, made it our own, and called it Walk It Out with West. So that's kind of where I got involved. And the first year was really successful. Everybody was like, oh, this is like a really cool thing. And it was really different because we never really had any type of, fashion show or club at West. So it was like the first thing. It was like that. Well, since I'm a senior, I kind of can't be in charge next year, but I do hope that whoever takes my place just is dedicated to the show as I am. As me and all the other people who are in it are. Is that
I learned a lot about a lot of other cultures. I found a lot of really close friends doing Walk It Out, and I learned a lot about everyone else's culture and how just everything just seems so beautiful when you really just don't have to think about borders and stuff like that. It seemed like such a fun thing to do, and the fact that it was something you could show off your culture and where you belong, and it's something you find a lot of people that you can relate a lot to. So I just enjoyed the event and being there and having just...
Okay.
The thing about Walk It Out is that it's basically an organization created to put on one event, and that event is in the spring. So when we're recruiting people in the fall, incoming freshmen or people that just haven't been involved before, by the time the average model will really need to get involved is 4 months, 5 months down the line. The thing about Walk It Out is that it's basically an organization created to put on one event, and that event is in the spring. So when we're recruiting people in the fall, incoming freshmen or people that just haven't been involved before, by the time the average model will really need to get involved is 4 months, 5 months down the line, and they're sort of not lazy, but it's more like they don't want to get involved in another big organization or make a commitment anymore.
The most stressful part about organizing Walkout is probably just coordinating all the cultural groups together, because there's so many people involved in Walkout. But basically everyone is just as important as each other, and it's up to everyone individually to contact their own leaders if they don't have clothing, and then the leaders also have to be responsible for their models. So it's a lot of coordinating and hoping that you can place your trust in certain people. So I think just trying to make sure everyone is accountable for what they're doing is the most stressful.
Walk It Out is a very exciting event. You not only meet new people, but you learn about their cultures. Diversity at West is important, and this event shows how much diversity there is in our community. The staff of Walk It Out would like to continue this multicultural fashion show every year. If you are interested in joining, you should absolutely do it.